Fireside Chat.
Please put your hands together for Tom Musial.
Do we have any tailgaters here? Anybody like to tailgate? Anybody tailgate for Steelers or anything like that? There you go. Nice. Man, I love tailgating. Tailgating is the only place I know where you can go and drink for 14 hours straight and still be in bed by 9 o'clock at night. Like, that is amazing. Like, I love tailgating. And tailgating, you know, it's interesting. I think a lot of the things that make tailgating so much fun is when you think about it, almost everything that you do at a tailgate is technically against the law. It really is. And if you don't believe me, try tailgating somewhere unusual. Like, instead of tailgating Sunday morning outside Heinz Field, try tailgating on, like, Tuesday outside JCPenney's. Like, give that a shot and see how well that works for you. Like, load up your car with all your tailgating gear and drive down to JCPenney's like 5 hours before JCPenney even opens. You know, set up your grill, set up your cake, start doing shots. You know, put some speakers on top of your car and start playing the JCPenney fight song over and over again. Get your giant inflatable Ellen DeGeneres in the three-point stance and blow that up. Like, you might not go to jail that day, but you'll definitely be talking to a policeman if you're tailgating outside the JCPenney's. But man, if it's Sunday morning outside Heinz Field, you can do whatever you want. It could be 7 o'clock in the morning. It could be 10 degrees below zero. You could be running around the parking lot wearing nothing but Steelers boxers and a Palomalu wig, with one side of your body painted black, the other side of your body painted gold. In one hand, you could have an open bottle of Jack Daniels that you're taking drinks from, and in your other hand, you could have a Tom Brady jersey that you've set on fire. And people will be like, that guy is my hero! We love that guy! Like, you'll be talking to policemen that day too, but they'll be like, hey, you're Tom Brady fire guy, high five! Woo! Like, dads will be setting their 9-year-old daughters up to get pictures with them. Like, Madison, go get a picture with this guy! This is going to be our Christmas card this year! And tailgate is a good time. Let's see what else is. It was a lot of drama in the Musial household recently. It was my dad's birthday. He turned 70 years old recently. How about a round of applause for my dad? He's 70 years old. I thought, man, 70 years old, that's a big birthday, right? I should really give him something nice, because I usually get him, like, nothing. Like, I'm really cheap and lazy, so I get him, like, nothing at all. But, this time I said, I'm going to get him something really nice. I got him, like, this really sophisticated, expensive GPS system that talks to you in this sexy voice while you're driving. I'm like, oh, man, he's going to love this. So I give it to him, and like 3 days later, he gives it back to me. He says, this thing's a piece of crap. Return it. I hate it. It gives me stupid directions. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what's a stupid direction? And he says, well, I'm trying to get from my house, he lives kind of out by Monroeville, to this bowling alley in Swissvale. He says, the first thing it tells me is, get on to Interstate 376. He says, I've lived in Pittsburgh for 70 years. No one's ever told me to get on an interstate to go to Swissvale. That is a stupid direction. He says, then it tells me take exit 77 and travel south on Braddock Avenue. He says, why is it telling me to go south? I'm not going to Florida, I'm going to Swissvale. This thing's a piece of junk, take it back. I said, Dad, hold on. I think I can fix this for you. So I went on the internet, and I got this special plug-in. I downloaded it, put it on the machine, put the same directions in, going from Monroeville to Swissvale. And this time it said, get on a parkway going towards town. Get off like you're going to Kennywood. Go through that crazy intersection up there by that Arby's, where you're going up a hill under a railroad track and you're making a left and a right at the same time. Go past that crazy church up there on stilts, make a right, and if you go past where Swissvale High School used to be, you went too far. So now it's his favorite thing. He uses it all the time. So I'll take that applause, Rick. Thank you very much. I was at work the other day, and a friend of mine said, hey, why don't you go out to work? We'll go down to the bar at happy hour, have a few beers, we'll play some pool, we'll just have a kind of a chill time and hang out. And I said, oh man, I'd love to go, but I can't. I promised my wife I'd babysit the kids. And he got really, really mad at me. He said, hey, when they're your kids, that's parenting. That's not babysitting. He says, babysitting is a word that women across America use when men watch their own kids to make men feel like second-class citizens in their own family. So you go home and you tell your wife, sure, honey, I'll watch the kids, but it's parenting, not babysitting. And I'm like, dude, she's paying me $6 an hour. That's babysitting. Hey, my name is Tom Musial. I've had a great time with you guys tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
great. Excellent job.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
So you're very much a Pittsburgh guy. You do a lot of Pittsburgh jokes. Do you have anything about Pittsburgh that is like a favorite or anything that really stands out?
Well, I just think I don't know if any folks in the audience our performers are you're obviously interested in coming to see live comedy. What I like about Pittsburgh is I think Pittsburgh is a good size, not too big, not too small, right? Where it's big enough that there's interesting things like this going on. But small enough that if you have interest in, that you can put on a show like this, and people are going to come, and it's going to be interesting. And I think both for patrons of entertainment and the arts, and for people who want to participate, I think it's just a great place to kind of get started and start to grow. And then when you get feeling like you need to go somewhere else, then you'll have a great base to do what you want to do. So that's what I really like about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, definitely. Pittsburgh's an awesome town. I've lived a lot of different places, and Pittsburgh is absolutely fantastic. So I'm with you on that.
And you can buy pierogies from a church.
This is the only place I've ever lived that had a pierogi man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
It comes to your door?
Yeah.
Door to door pierogies?
Uh-huh. I'm not kidding.
I haven't yet had a chance to check it out, but there is a pierogi food truck somewhere around town. So
Nice.
find it on the internet where the pierogi truck is.
What do you think is the most underrated thing in Pittsburgh?
Oh, in Pittsburgh, I think it's the comedy scene. I think there's a number of comedians and comedy troupes and people doing really interesting and hilarious stuff all over the city, not just in the city, but around the suburbs and in the general area. And it's you guys had fun tonight, right? Out tonight and to see talented performers, and it's a few bucks. So stuff would cost you $50 in New York City, and BYOB, man. So it's awesome. So
You started. How old is your oldest kid?
he's 15. Actually, just turned 15 this
Okay,
week.
so you were already a full-on parent.
So I
when you
was.
started.
I had 4 at that time. I've had 2 since, and
What a great way to support a family with comedy.
yeah, I'll tell you what. Exactly. So it's it's nice. It brings me some material, and my family's always been very great about letting me have my little creative outlet. Plus, they once they go to bed, they don't know what I do at night. So
Right. Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. Is obviously some of your material is about being a dad, but do you find that being a parent affects the creative part? Like when you're writing comedy, do you have to structure it around family obligations, or how do you deal with that?
Well, so, in terms, like I said, in terms of comedy specifically, everything happens at night, and so with the kids, they're in bed, and from that time period, there's not a lot of time taken away. Although I will take off early on a Saturday to go to some fire hall show in Westmoreland County, so I might miss out on some time there. But for the most part, it's actually been a pretty good match because there's an opposite time schedules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, in terms of, like I said, don't ever go into stand-up comedy. It's a terrible way to spend your life. But if you are going to go into it, it's one of the few professions or avocations that I know where simply being on time and sober will put you in the top 5% of it's a really low threshold
Nice.
to be hired from that perspective.
Fireside.